Call 1-800-2PAIR and schedule an appointment at America's Best today.
Today's veterinarian visit on KCRG-TV9 is brought to you by Emergency Veterinary Service.
Well, thanks for staying with us. Today, veterinarian Ryan Steen joins us to take your pet health questions. And who do you have here? He was sitting perfectly still the entire commercial. Yeah. Yep. So who do you have here?
This is Milo. He's out at Cedar Rapids Animal Control. He's looking for a home. He's a neutered male terrier mix, young adult. So he'd be a nice addition to a home out there.
Okay. So Milo again up for adoption. We have Michael on the phone now with a question. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I got a 13-year-old lab that I give him baby aspirin twice a day. Is that too much to give him, or?
No, that's not an excessive amount for a lab. Aspirin is kind of funny because it doesn't, here we go, Milo, have a seat down here. Aspirin, it takes higher levels of aspirin to get to therapeutic dosages, and once we get up to those higher levels, we can start to get into ulcer territory. Okay. So that's safe, and if it's effective, that's generally safe. It should still be monitored periodically with some blood work by your veterinarian, but there are some better choices that are a little bit more specific, what are called COX-2 inhibitors. They're a little bit more specific for inflammatory conditions in dogs, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to consult with his veterinarian and see if there might be a little bit better fit that'd be more effective and safer.
I didn't even know you could give aspirin to dogs.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of medications that have crossovers like that?
I mean, there's a lot of medications we use from the human side, but we really, want people to be cautious with that because some of the medications you'd think would just be fine actually are quite dangerous. Aleve is a good example. Very, very dangerous in dogs. And aspirin, is one of those, and ibuprofen, Tylenol, they just got to be used very, very cautiously. And so it's best to work with your veterinarian to make the right choices in that regard. And there are a lot of other options that are designed for inflammation and arthritis and things like that in older dogs that are significantly more effective and safer. So we always want people to consult with their veterinarian before giving a human medication.
I guess it's a good reminder to watch out then for, let's say you drop a pill or something like that, because I'm pretty cognizant of that with little ones around the house, but I got a dog too, and dogs are quick to eat anything off the floor.
Yeah, and
at least mine is.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right, and it's always good if that kind of a thing happens to call right away. And there are also poison control lines, hotlines. ASPCA has one where they can give you an idea of your dog's weight if it's something that needs to be addressed. And it's better to call right away than to wait a little bit, because some of those things we may need to make them vomit. We may need to use some activated charcoal. So those are things to be very, very careful with.
And I mean, there are other things that they can eat that maybe might make them a little upset stomach, but will pass through, right? I mean,
yeah, and it runs the whole gamut. I mean, there are things that
like what happened to us, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be things where you'd call and say, we'd say, well, they might have a little, a little upset stomach, but that'll be fine. All the way up to things, like Aleve that we discussed that are the other end of the spectrum where you got to be very, very aggressive. And so, if in doubt, it's best to discuss it with your veterinarian and potentially a toxicologist at one of the hotlines.
Yeah, my dog once ate, I think it was like half a bag of Hershey's Kisses.
Chocolate can be pretty. I mean, milk chocolate isn't quite as bad, but yeah, that's another good example. A lot of these food items, a lot of people don't know that grapes are and should not be given to dogs. Yeah, and it can be very, very dangerous. So it's just best to stick with the things you know and ask about the things you don't.
Absolutely. Some good advice as always. Veterinarian Ryan Steen, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
And Milo, the puppy dog, is available for adoption at Cedar Rapids Animal Care and Control. And tomorrow we'll be talking about digging yourself